There we go. Hello, hello. Okay, wait. I gotta technically move up because if not, everything's gonna look dark. And I'm like, dang it, this one is like right in my face, but then I'm gonna block that. Okay, hold on. Let's rotate this way over here. And I gotta rotate this. It's too much rotating. And then I gotta rotate. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, I need to go up some. I don't know. Oh no, definitely can't do that. Whatever. It's gonna be crooked. All right, whole lot. Hello, everyone. Incredible greetings. Okay, let's do a couple of things here. Make sure that our audience is correct. And edit audience, public. Let's share it out. Oh, let's clean this lens to look a little crazy. Well, at least on my end, it was looking great. Oh my God. Sometimes I be feeling like this darn thing is very dark. Definitely got to figure out the lighting in here. Alrighty, let's see here. Hello, everyone. Incredible greetings. Let's get this all shared out. Share to a group. Wait, huh? Is this can really help your creative business and or craft hustle at everyone. All right, there we go. Hello, as you guys come in, drop a hey, how you doing? I know some of you guys might be sneaking in from work, but if you can just kind of hold your phone down and just drop a hi, drop a wave, that helps the algorithm. We would like to get those comments in as soon as we start the live video because it helps push the broadcast. And this is going to be a good one for all of my creative businesses and those with craft hustles. All right. So make sure that you guys tap in. Leave a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. If you're able to put in that many characters, let me know where you are watching from. Hit like, hit share it with a creative friend, a crafty sister or brother, someone that you know that you maybe partner with, your accountability partner. So anybody that you work with within this industry, make sure that you are tagging them. If you guys are bouncing ideas and questions off of each other, this is it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. All right. And it actually brings me to a question before I do my intro. Put in the comment section, like say me, or I do or I don't. Do you guys have a I don't want to say like an accountability partner or someone that you communicate with on the regular and you actually bounce ideas off of for your creative business, your craft hustle, whatever it is that you're doing. Do any of you guys have someone that you speak with on a regular so that you guys can encourage each other? Like I said, bounce ideas off each other, encourage each other, and things of that nature. So Smarty Pants says no, because some of you guys are in a lot of groups. So you haven't forged any type of relationships with anyone within the craft space. All right, awesome. I have to send the list of like what each day is going to be about, but it's good to know that Zoom did send it out to say, hey, there was a change, and it should actually require you to register again. Okay. So let's see. Let's go through over here so I can see if I can get, see if anyone answered. Hello, incredible greetings. Welcome in. Thank you for tapping in from Central Florida. Hey, Valerie. Hey, Shakia, peeping in from work. See, I knew it was going to be somebody peeping in from work. Thank you for checking in from Virginia. Hello from Brookhaven. How art thou? Hey, Dawn, you do know I know your name, right? I actually used your business name. You don't remember that? No, oh, wait, do I still have it? Let's see if I still have that one up. Remember, Ms. Dawn, I actually used your business when I was teaching about how to do the frames. Wait, who remembers me having these frames? Actually, I'm going to go over to this one. Oh, wait, there's that. And I was doing these frames, right? And I was showing how to do it, how to set it up, and how to save it as a PNG, even from Silhouette Studio. And I actually used your business. See, remember, I actually need to do another one of these because it will make it a whole lot easier for me if I actually had this up. Yeah, I need to do another one of these frames. And you can do this in Silhouette Studio, which is what today's live is about. How it can really help and benefit your business, all right, or your craft hustle. But girl, I know that's you. All right. I didn't mean to hit add overlay. Hold on, y'all. Now I don't did something I ain't supposed to be doing. All right, let's go back up here and turn this one off. Cancel. Turn that one off. All right, let's see. Where was I at? Oh, Miss Dawn. Hello, LaShonda, my city girl. Period. Okay, let's see. Hello from the UK. How art thou? From the Peach State. Hello from Georgia. I can share it. I don't have one. No. Oh, I don't like all of these no's. Okay, Claudette says yes. Dawn says just me. Okay, let's see. No, really? You don't? Really? Oh, okay. I had a few. They stopped responding to our message chat, but if I can count, then I'll say one. Okay. You remember those? Hey, just say. All right, let's see. Okay, that was everyone over there. So a lot of no's over here too. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to send the invite. I was trying to scroll. You don't have to jump on. But that's kind of interesting. So let's go ahead. Oh, I was going to say, like, wait a minute now. But anyway, let me go through the introduction and let's kind of get into this. All right. So I am Shakia Lavelle, also known to you guys as Shakia the Professor. My company is HSINK365. We are the home of the Honestly Speaking brand of products. We carry the absolute best, most efficient, hassle-free sublimation paper on the market. Industry standard is like 400 degrees, 50, 60 seconds, somewhere in there. So we challenged that back in 2020 because we've been in business for 3 years now. We're going into our 4th year, to be able to get it done quicker, faster, and actually better results. So we sublimate with our paper at 365 degrees in 30 seconds. No butcher paper on the top. The results are absolutely amazing. I actually did a test. And we're always doing that. So if you really, really, really want to see, the one thing that's great about our platform is I love to go live. Live videos are not edited. You get to see everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, the mistakes and all. And I have done it a couple times. Like we've purposely gone as close to 400 degrees that I feel comfortable going. Ever since we launched our paper, I'm sorry, you will never, ever, 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 ever get me to put a heat press on 400 degrees. Not gonna happen. Okay, the highest I'm gonna go is 398. I will never dial in 400 degrees on a heat press for sublimation ever. Okay, and I refuse to set it at 60 seconds for like regular stuff. Now some things it does require more time, like ceramic, glass, so acrylic is actually lower, but like ceramic, glass, slates, and my plaques, like that's like thick wood. Now they take a little bit more time, but like for a shirt, a keychain, a puzzle, a can cooler, like a MDF coaster, like any of those, a mouse pad. Oh, hunty, I will never. I can't do it. The highest I will ever take my heat press is to 58 seconds. Like that's being for real. Like I can never do that. But so 365, 60 seconds. And that's really for just about anything. All those things that I named, the mouse pad, the jewelry, anything that's MDF, puzzles, shirts, aprons, like any type of fabric, a pillowcase, a blanket, all of that. You don't have to ever worry about the temp and time. You're going to buy blanks and it's going to have all these crazy suggestions, right? And if you go into these groups and you ask, you're going to get 30,000 other different answers because everyone's using different items. And this company will say this company will say that. The paper will say something else. It gets really, really, really confusing. How many of you guys find that all of the different temps and times can be confusing from blank to blank, substrate to substrate? I got food in my teeth. I feel it. I had to get that out. Me. Made my first snow globe tumbler. So impressed with how it came out. So beautiful. My mom is going to love it. Okay, so me. All right. But this is common. So she says, well, I use HSINK paper, so my shipping time really changes. But for a lot of people, that is the case. They're constantly having to figure out. The one thing that you should know is when it comes to blanks and the temp and time that they will put as a recommendation for their blanks is based off of the paper that they are using. To be perfectly honest, what matters most is that paper and how it releases. Sometimes if you follow the instructions that came like with the blank, and if they were using a paper that required more, maybe it had to put butcher paper on top, anything on top of it creates a heat barrier. So it's going to take longer for that heat to kind of bypass, like to get past that, get to the back of your paper and heat up to actually sublimate the substrate. So with that being said, it's not universal. Temps and times are not universal to certain projects. If you're not using the same type of, like I said, paper or the same type of ink, the release on water-based inks, which is what Epsons are, compared to gel-based inks that are in the Sawgrass, is actually different. The Sawgrass ink is actually a little bit thicker. So that is going to be a difference, depending on which printer you have. With our paper, you get the same release no matter if it's a water base or a gel base. So whether you're using a Sawgrass or an Epson printer, you're going to be able to still get the best colors at around 365 degrees, 30 seconds. And that's a good range for the masses. On my Hottronics, I actually can do 360 in like 20, 25 seconds and get amazing, perfect results every single time. Oh, excuse me. And it's going to complete. A lot of people get caught up in this ink release. And sometimes you can release it so much that you're actually over sublimating. So our paper allows you to get the best results, complete the sublimation process, get the best colors in less time at a lower temperature. No butcher paper required. You don't have to think about all these different settings unless you're doing something and you maybe have to, like, because some ink is exposed, or maybe like if you're doing like a microfiber towel and the towel is exposed and you have to cover it up, that's going to be the only time that you won't have to adjust your temperature, but you may have to adjust your time for like another like 3 to 5 seconds so that it get past that heat barrier, which is your parchment paper or your butcher paper. But outside of that, hassle-free. It's like you can set it and forget it is what you can really do with our paper. So if you have not tried it out, we do have some sample packs still available. Well, I think for the tacky one is the one that we are. So for tacky, those are really, really running low as far as sample packs. But for the fast dry, we have sample packs on there. You can try out the sample pack, or you can go ahead and just get yourself a 100 pack sheet. We also have bundles. We've had those since day one. You can get it in packs of 3 for all sizes, or even and 4 for the 13 by 19, or you can buy a full case. We actually have several customers who buy full cases. They're going through that much of our paper. They have the orders coming in. I was actually looking at it because we just recently had someone that purchased a case, and that's one of the things that fueled this particular live video. Because I know the person that does it, it's all about like her graphics and her designing. So that is what makes it to where she can order cases more often, because she's going through these packs of paper, like that. All right. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Printing also, I just do your settings. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you so much, Ms. Dawn, for that. But that's true as well. Like your settings and things, all like for some, it'll fluctuate. We use plain paper, bright white, set to the highest possible quality. I fluctuate between Adobe RGB and ICM depending on the images that I am using or what I'm adding to the design. And then our density is about like anywhere from like -5 to -10 for fast dry, -20 to -25 if you're using the tacky paper. But we do have videos that break all of that down on, what settings to use for each paper. Okay. And it's always on the cover. All right. So that's HSINK365 Honestly Speaking products. Then we're also the home of, I know I'm still in the intro, y'all, the home of Silhouettes Anonymous. That is the online, like free online platform where I have been teaching you guys how to use and master Silhouette Studio for your creative and design needs, whether it's just adding a name to a pre-made template, or maybe adjusting some colors. If you were someone who got into sublimation, but you were doing a lot of like vinyl and paper cutting and you are using SVGs, they're really, really good for changing up colors and things. Because if you have a JPEG or PNG, there are things that you have to do to isolate certain areas to be able to change out those colors. But with SVGs, it's just solid color. You can ungroup or release compound path, all that kind of good jazz, and change the color. Remember, with sublimation, if you can print it, you can sub it. So there's no limitation on any type of design, any type of file format, JPEG, PNG, SVG, PDF, Excel file, whatever it is, any of those can be used to print out sublimation prints. We also have 365 Creative Academy, where we go a little deeper into your knowledge base, right? We help you to unlock your creativity in a wide variety of trainings, everything from getting the foundation and the basics of several different design softwares to designing, beginner level designing, intermediate, and then advanced, because it is different. We cannot go start out and we want to do the big boy. I know it's great to see all of these amazing designs. don't allow yourself to like feel inadequate because you're not at that level, especially if you just started within the past 6 months to like a year and you really were never into like creating your own designs. If you were someone that, okay, I've been in this for a while, right? There's a lot of people been in it for a while. As a crafter, you were going to Etsy, you were going to design bundles, going to Create a Fabrica, and you're just getting pre-made designs, something that you can print, something that you can literally bring up and print. I know like Etsy has a lot of ones for like chip bags and water bottle labels, and you can just buy those digital files. Some of them, some of the sellers on there even make it to where, hey, this is the baseline of it. Send me your picture. I'm going to put it in there for you. Tell me the name, tell me the age. I'm going to type it all out for you. I'm then going to send you this file, whether it's in a PDF or if it's in a zip file, and you have all of your individuals, but I'm going to send it to you. All you have to do is print it out and, assemble it, right? Or you have to print it out and you have to sub it, or you have to, open it up in Silhouette Studio, do trace and detach, apply lines, and you're going to make stickers. I see people sell digital files for sticker packs, all that, all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. If your goal is to learn how to make stickers, my recommendation is always going to be to start off with pre-made designs, because your focus should be on learning how to make stickers, right? It's a lot to try and figure out design. And then let's say you spend all this time on the design. And then when you go to print it out, you didn't even really put enough attention to, did I set my registration marks up right? What's going to be the best way to set my registration marks up? Should it be thick? Should it be thin? Should it be long? Should it be short? Should I push them out? Should I put it really, really close? Okay, so when it comes to my mats, am I using Silhouette mats or Cricut mats if you're using a Cricut machine? Am I using, Cricut mats with the Silhouette machine? Oh, crap. I heard the professor say you can use a Cricut mat with the Silhouette, but when I do it, it's never reading my registration marks. Well, you missed a step, right? I said that I can use it, but did you also happen to see where I had it taped off because it doesn't match? So we have to stop skipping the steps and just trying to get to the end. Then you go, you load it into it, you try and get registration marks. Let's say you get it to register, it goes to cut. You go to try and, weed away the negative or pull it up. Wait, this didn't cut. I don't know any of the settings for this. You have to master that part first before you invest time in creating your own designs. Whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to make shirts, you don't have to have your own custom designs to make shirts. If you want to learn sublimation shirts, okay, I'm going to get me a couple of designs. I'm going to, go to, like I said, Etsy, Create a Fabrica, designbundles.net, whatever it is, get a couple of designs, or even people's personal websites or business websites. You're going to get you a couple of designs. You're going to try out a couple of different shirt brands. Do not settle on just one brand. If you are starting out, you should have a bunch of brands and you're going to try them out. Yes, people are going to recommend all sorts of things. People have different preferences. I, for one, am somebody where I currently, how the cotton-like ones are made, I see slight improvements, every once in a while it's some slight improvements, but I am one where I do not like the cotton-like shirts. So for some of you guys, how many of you guys love those shirts? You're always on the hunt for polyester shirts that are cotton-like. They're not super shiny, they mimic cotton shirts. How many of you guys are looking for those types of shirts? The Academy goes a lot deeper than the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for that, because I think some people don't realize that. Hello from South Carolina. The financial, I like how you changed that. The financial strategist. I love that, Eric. So Jesse feels that they are too thin. Okay, someone over here says they like those shirts. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of them either. I couldn't print and cut for 3 years till you came on my computer LOL, boom, print and cut. You actually do a lot, Miss Dawn. Actually, I don't know if I don't know if I've ever expressed this to you. You really were a lot like you were motivational. I do miss that's one of the reasons why I had to get back into the space of doing the live sessions, because when you were on and you're talking about all of the things that you were doing for like the all-star team, and then I remember you had like that company and like you were like, oh, I feel like it should be something more. And then when they came back and said, no, this is perfect, like being able to really see your growth. And that's one of the things that I miss by doing like the a la carte classes, not really having that sense of community and really being able to keep up with all of my, creative friends, like their growth and stuff like that. You were really inspirational because I remember like some of the fear in it, right? Like the fear that you had in like pricing and, with your health and going from the business that you had before. And this is a new venture. And it's like every single week you came back, like you were coming to the sessions, I have this order. They came back for this, you figured out how to do the DTF. So I had to get back into doing these because I miss those inspirational moments. Like I was always so inspired when you would come in and you would let us know about all the things that you have like accomplished, like just growing and growing and growing and growing. It was always cool. I know your son probably didn't like to like seeing him on there and like him like, yep, see, mom, I told you. So I just wanted to let you know because I don't know if I ever told you that. Like you were really, really inspirational for me in those sessions. Hello, glad to be here again. Order digital on Etsy and haven't received them yet. Wait, you ordered something, a digital file on Etsy, and you hadn't received them from the person that you ordered them from? All right. But yeah, so I'm one that I don't really care for those. I have a preference for shirts. People ask me all the time when I'm making my shirts, hey, what shirts are you using? I use Team 365 and Sports Tech. Some people have said they feel like those are a little too expensive. Some people will get them. Oh, they're kind of like my customers don't like the silky shirts. I don't really find them to be like silky, but I do feel like they give you the best color because of how they're woven. So my recommendation is to try out different shirts. If I'm doing an all over shirt, I have a specific shirt that I like for all over. I don't feel like all shirts are created equal. This Team 365 shirt, I would never want to do an all over shirt with this because of the way like it's made and with the sleeves. So you should really be trying out a bunch of different shirts, taking detailed notes. You gotta write it down. Be specific. What you loved, what you did not like. If you could, like, okay, I think this is great. If it just had this, this would be perfect. So now when you're looking at another shirt, like, okay, it has these markers. Okay, does it have that? This might be the perfect shirt. You have to keep detailed notes of these things, especially when you're starting out. When you're starting out, you shouldn't have this pressure on you. You should be mastering your skills, and that's going to make it so much easier for you to actually make money. When you are still learning, like even the basics, the foundations of things, when you're still learning those and you're trying to turn it into a business, you're trying to monetize it. Now you're on like you're on a deadline to be able to get things done. It's a lot of pressure and it can take the fun out of it. But when you take the time to like master it, you're going to be able to turn like just to see a return on your investment, see a return, like be able to profit more a lot faster because you're not spending so much time on those very, very basic and beginner skills and tasks. As a business, it should be a well-oiled machine. Like it should be automated. It should be going. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who just get into it because they're seeing so many people do it and they automatically want to go to a business, and then it's frustrating because they end up with so many oopsies. Start from the basics. Learn your craft. Perfect. I'm not even going to say perfect, but have some level of proficiency, at least one part of it. It shouldn't, at least it's like if you're not questioning. Some people are questioning everything about the process. At least if you knew without a shadow of a doubt, I know which paper I'm using. I know my temping time. I know what shirts I'm going to use, and everything else is the part that I am working on. But that's my little tip, for you guys when it comes to that whole thing. But that is one of the ways that you'll start. How you separate yourself from the rest is going to be in your designing. What can you do, whether even if it's like a pre-made one or you're going to switch up something? How do you switch it up? If you have a design, is it only for like, because you don't know how to work your software, can it only be used for one thing, like whatever it was made for? My brother's best friend wanted, oh, my heart still hurts because I don't understand how he lost. I don't understand what Two was doing in the the last part of the season, but he wanted a dolphin shirt. I wasn't technically like able to, some other things happened, but I was like, shoot, I made my brother this 49er shirt. I'm just going to take this. I'm just going to switch it up because I've done it before. And I had made that same design for an Optimus team. And I'm like, I'm just going to switch it up. I'm going to put the dolphin colors and like, boom. But then I end up having to leave the office. If I would have purchased that San Francisco inspired file, and I knew nothing about ungrouping or releasing compound path, how to change the color, how to change the symbol on it, I would have never been able to at least even have the file. I had it ready to print, but then I had to leave the office. I would have lost out on that. He still wants the shirt, so I'm not really losing out on it. He just couldn't have it for yesterday. We play on Saturday. So he'll just have his shirt for Saturday and hopefully the next week after that. Like, come on, Dolphins. You gotta work with your girl. But I had the ability to customize that file. I'm not leaving, I didn't have to say like no. Or because that was imagine like I just started doing these. That was the only football related design that I had. So now it's like going in and trying to search the internet or find from somebody else a dolphin related file. That would have taken up time. When I had it here, all I had to do was adjust it. You will have the ability to make money faster when you know at least the basics of these design softwares. Like I said, key things, how to ungroup, if it's a vector file, how to release compound path, how to size it, how to change the colors up, maybe even how to add some text. If the original design was just like a full-on graphic, how can you add some text to now take this to a different level, to make it different from the original? These are things that are so vital when it comes to a creative business or a craft hustle. You have to know a design software. So I ask this question a lot. So if you guys are not strangers here, so you've probably answered this before, you can definitely answer it again. Or if you're new here, one of these lives where I ask this question, feel free to go ahead and post your comment. What design programs are you guys currently using? Thank you so much for the follow. What design softwares are you guys currently using? Unfortunately, that is not what we're talking. Like, we're not kind of going over things like that. I have tons of videos. If this was a general Q&A, I would be more than happy to answer that for you. So I don't want you to feel like I'm ignoring you, but that's not something that we're talking about in this particular one. You can also post it in our group because you're on Facebook. So visit our Facebook group, Honestly Speaking, create a post with that question. If you have pictures, like show me like what your screen looks like. Be as descriptive as possible to let us know what is you're trying to do. And myself or someone who's been, doing this for a while and they have a little experience in the programs, someone can go and give you some type of guidance and assistance. So definitely post that in the Facebook group. I jump on your lives whether or not I know or not, because there's always something great in your presence. Oh, Miss Dawn. Learning will never be done from you. So silhouette, Corel Draw, silhouette, Corel Draw in Illustrator, silhouette, Canva on it. I was trying to get into Canva for designs, and Canva server kept shutting down like 3 times within the span of me designing. I thought I was going to be home at 2. I ended up being home at 6 because between Canva and VersaWorks, I was over it. Corel, silhouette, and Photoshop, Cricut wanting to learn Affinity, mostly Silhouette, Silhouette Studio, Inkscape, Design Space, Silhouette over there, Silhouette, Corel Draw mostly, and Silhouette Business Edition. Hey, Jesse, haven't we gotten into, you haven't started using Photoshop ever since the Essentials class? We should be doing a little bit of Photoshop. Just a little bit, a couple of edits in Photoshop. I think we should be able to do a couple edits in Photoshop. Canva, Canva, a little bit too. Okay. And these are all great options. There is no right or wrong. Each program offers you something different. Corel Draw, Illustrator, Silhouette Studio, Affinity Designer, Inkscape. These are all vector-based softwares. This is programs where, okay, I'm going to show this one, right? I'm going to show my mouse pad. This peacock right here, right? There is no shading in this to where like shading or blurs to show differences in colors. So there's like no pixels. This is actually a vector file. It seems like a lot, but this is something that could very well be made in any vector-based software because it really is nothing but shapes. All of the different colors and like it looks like things are blended out. That's not from blending and using like a brush tool or using your different blurs in Photoshop. That's a series of that same shape. Maybe, they did like an internal offset on it, or if it started small, they did an external offset on it, and they're different colors. So all of this shading in here, if you look really closely, you'll see that like it's just kind of rounded right there. So that's creating a highlight area in that space, and that's done basically with vector. I'm actually in the process. I got her, and this was created via AI, but I don't want to necessarily use just that AI one because I can't make any adjustments. I'm in the process of recreating all of these shapes and vectorizing it. So when people say as far as like vectorizing, can I take this? I think there are some things it's like PNG to SVG converter. That's never going to give me the quality that I need. For me to turn this into a vector image, I have to create every circle, every square, every triangle, every odd shape, offsets. I have to do all of that in order to convert this. And they can be layered on top. So I have that, which will be my raw version of it, where things are either going to be to the front, to the back. And then there's going to be the one, like once I finish that, I'll be able to go in and subtract things, weld things so that it kind of fits in like a really good puzzle. And if I ever go to like the wireframe, I'm not seeing stuff cross over each other. But it takes some time, doing this. But it can be done in any of those softwares. Can it be done in Photoshop as well? It sure can, but you have pixels and it's a little bit different. But when you have that vector file, you can take that into Photoshop. It'll already, like, it's a certain way to save it. It'll already be in layers. And then on those layers, so I can take this one right here. I can add like this one little piece that's solid blue. I take that, I'll see all of the layers because it will still be layers in Photoshop. I'm going to do the common one, a Gaussian blur to it, and that's going to soften the edges. It's not going to be harsh edges. But once it's not harsh edges, it's great for printing and like the visuals, but I will never be able to cut that because there's no defined edge. So it's a lot of differences between the different softwares, depending, and also a lot of differences in how you save different things. So Photoshop, Photopea, Affinity Photo, these are all raster type programs, ones that work in pixels. Canva is also one that's more like it works in pixels. It can actually kind of do both because you can do some SV, like bring in some SVGs, but you can also bring in SVGs in Photoshop. It's just that once they're there, they're no longer like vector. Like you're basically now changing the color based off of pixels. But you can bring an SVG into a lot of these different softwares. So they all offer something different. So as I'm gonna still say my good friend King would say, I love this quote that he says. He says quite often, methods are many, principles are few. Methods change, principles never do. So that is a little quote from Ken from Penn Business Solutions. So he's great at like marketing and branding and things of that nature. They have him and Dwayne have this thing called Dear Business Owner. I forget the days, but it's like, I know it's 9 p.m. my time. I think it's 8 p.m. 8, not 8 p.m. 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, 9 a.m. like my time. But he always says that, and that's something that sticks with me. I really love it. So I'm going to say it again. Methods are many, principles are few. Methods change, principles never do. And with what we do within the creative space, it's like saying the method, right? I can use Silhouette Studio. I can use Photoshop. I can use Canva. I can even use Cricut Design Space, because they all have tools that are similar but different, might have different names, but you can get sort of the same outcome, right? So the method in which you do it, there's a bunch of different ways that you can create a design. But the principles of designing, they really don't change. If I wanted to, we're going to come back to this. If I wanted to create this, no matter what program I am in, I'm going to have a box that this, I'm going to create a rectangle or a box. You still have to have a area for it to go in. Even in Photoshop, I can use a brush, but that's going to be just color. If I want to apply glitter, I have to have a space or a shape that glitter is going to apply to. So it's still going to require me to make a rectangle. I'm going to make a rectangle, whether it is Photoshop, Silhouette Studio, Canva, Affinity, or whatever. That doesn't change. I'm going to need another rectangle. I'm going to need the ability to make that smaller, whether I drag the node up or I type it in. Then I need the next section, and then the next one, because there's another, I probably saw on this side, there's 2 lines there. Then I need to create the yellow part, whether I do it. So in this, there's other methods and methods and principles. So the method, I can take this part right here, right? The yellow part, I can make it one big rectangle. And then I'm going to add points, and I'm going to either so if I made this as a rectangle, right? I got to look at it like this, y'all, because I can't see it. So it's a rectangle. It would be down to here. So then I'm going to add edit points on the end. I'm going to add an edit point down at the bottom. So my edit points will be all technically along the bottom. But then every other one, I'm going to take that edit point and I'm going to move it up. That's a method to be able to create this. I can also create this where I create one of like these sections where it's a rectangle. Instead of pulling down, I either put a point there and pull down one, or I could have put the taken the ones from the ends and I push those up. Still going to get the same result. The method can be different. There are many methods, but the principle is still the same. I have to create a point on this to give it that look. Then I'm going to duplicate that down however far I need it to be. And then I'm going to group it together, or I'm going to weld it so I can fill the color in. Then I have the next piece. Then I have, what is the lead. There's so many different ways, and no way is correct. No one way is better than the other. Sometimes it's just about how someone learned. If you learned about edit points and you learned it to where it's like, okay, everything that you're doing, I want to click on a point and I want to move it down. But if I learned it and it was easy for me to move points up, I'm going to do it differently based off of either how I first was introduced to it. If I only have one instructor and that's how they teach it, I'm going to probably mimic what they do. Methods are many, principles are few. Methods change, but the principle of how to set this up, that won't change, okay? Principles never do. So it doesn't matter which one you have, but to create something like this where you can personalize, you can make it for teachers, this is where your money is going to lie. This is where your money is really going to come in at, is being able to customize. As long as you're pricing correctly now. So many of you guys are customizing. You're giving your clients one-of-a-kind things, which is rare. People pay big money for something that is one of a kind. I don't know where this ideology comes in that because it's crafting, which is one of the reasons why I don't like that word, guys. Because people go and they don't look at the word, oh, it's my craft, it's my skill, it's, it's what I do. The average consumer, when you guys are saying this and you're doing these things, they're looking at it as arts and crafts. They're looking at it as DIY. Truth of the matter is, every company DIYs. If you're making something, do it yourself. A lot of companies make things themselves. There are some companies where somebody else will make it. They're going to purchase it from them ready made, and then they're going to sell it. But a good majority of companies do DIY. But we have been trained to think that DIY is a non-professional thing. It's a crafter thing. It is a cheaper way of doing something. Guess what? In businesses, they will DIY. They will try and keep certain things in-house to save money. So we have to get out of this mindset that DIY is just a crafter's thing. But when we're using the word crafts, people, like, in general, the public seems to think that DIY is cheapy, like, it's going to be cheaper. They think that craft is like arts and crafts. Oh, you're just doing that in your home. You don't have a real business. You don't have any overhead. You don't have any business bills. Why can't you make this? Because if I was doing it myself, I'm going to go to the Dollar Tree and get these items. Oh, there's a Michael's. Why do I have to pay? I can just go to Michael's and get this. I can go to Amazon and get these items. They see that as something that they can DIY, do it themselves, not realizing that companies DIY too. Shoes are DIY'd. They're done by the company that manufactures the shoes. Actually, to be honest, most shoe companies don't really DIY because it's a lot to have that plant, and they may not have enough production to really support a full plant. You'll be surprised that a lot of these companies are actually getting their items made in the exact same facility. You have a facility, I'm not going to say like this is the case for them, but you can have a facility that in that facility, because they have everything that you need to make to make shoes or even make shirts. They're manufacturing shirts or shoes for 5 or 6 different brands, because brands were only going to order so many of one particular item. Is that factory supposed to not make money, not pay their staff until that one company can order more? No. So there are ones that are making supplies or they're making products for multiple companies at a time because they have the infrastructure to support it. And as a company, to be able to keep that, like, it's bad enough you got to pay for your marketing, your marketing people, your sales rep, your managers, your CEOs, your CFOs, director of this, director of that, VP of this, president of that. You got to pay all of these people, right? You got to pay all the worker bees. You got to pay all the sales people. You got to pay the supervisors on the floor of the call center. All these people you have to pay. You got to pay for the ads, the commercials, the this, the that. So to pay for a whole factory, which now these are a bunch of other workers, no. Car dealerships, they don't have a factory to make one type of car. Like, there's no factory. Do you know how many different brands and different levels of cars? I have a Dodge, I have a Durango. So when you think about Dodge and the company that owns them, do you think that they're making just my Durango in one factory? No, that junk fluctuates and they're making different cars in here. No one's doing they're still doing it themselves. Like, it's all in one factory. But like I said, there are some people, they don't DIY anything. It's made. I know how to market and brand it. I'm just going to sell it. But on the craft level, people see it as being cheap. It's one of the reasons why I don't recommend using that and classifying your business as that. Another thing, I'm going to tell y'all, some of y'all are really, really hurting yourself. You are really, 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 really hurting yourself. And this is a topic for another day, but I got to say it because it's on my spirit. These names that y'all have given yourselves. These names that y'all are giving y'all businesses is what's hurting you. It screams, I can try you. It screams, you doing this at your dining room table. It screams, I'm going to try and negotiate. It screams, this is no different than me being at a swap shop or like, what's the things? It's a whole show about it. It was like thrifting. They go to these things where people are just like selling their items and you can negotiate. It's screaming, I can negotiate with you, which is why it's hard to stand on business with your pricing, because not even like your setup of your website or your onboarding for your customers, like your name alone is that first impression. And it's like they're already kind of devising a plan on trying to hustle you down because of your name. It's because of your name. And that's just straight up. Some of you guys have the ability to be really successful, but what's holding you back is the name that you have chosen, the logo that you guys are using, right? I'm one where I got into graphic designing, and before I had a business doing anything else, because I was in graphic designing, I was actually creating logos. So when it came to doing mine, I had the ability to, because that's one of the areas I started in, is creating custom graphics and custom logos. So it was nothing for me to be able to do that. And there is a very big difference in creating a design and creating a logo. Because I guarantee there are so many of you guys who have made your own designs, but you have struggled and you tried to make the logo yourself and you struggle. And it's like, I don't really like this. Is it professional? You're using the wrong things. You can create the hell out of a design, make a design for a shirt, but you're still questioning your logo. How many of you guys have experienced that, where you're questioning the logo that you have created yourself? I need a good program so I can design my own products. Brenda, the grandma too. You are in the right place, my dear. I take a lot of creatives every single day. I utilize Silhouette Studio to teach you the principles. Now you can take that information and you can grow with it and go into other programs, because again, the principles are going to be the same. You're just going to change the method in which you're doing it. But I use Silhouette Studio to get people into graphic designing, understanding concept, layouts, typography. We had our first session for 2024 on Friday. The next ones, we are working on it. The link is already in the program for the next sessions. We have a study hall session on Wednesday, and the actual teaching session is on Thursday. So for the month of January, Thursday at 6:30 p.m. will be the day for the actual refresher sessions, and Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the day for the study hall session. So you are in the right place. It is an investment of $103 if you're going to pay for it just straight out, or you can pay it with Sezzle and it'll come out to like $25.81 or something like that, 4 payments of that, because it's like $115 if you're going to do it that way, because it has extra cost to it. So you can do it that way. But I promise you, it is going to definitely get you to that next level and get you started to be able to create your own designs. You can go and somebody may have a program and they're going to just teach you a bunch of designs and they're going to throw you to the wolves basically, and you're going to be lost. You're going to feel like a superstar in that class, right? Because they're going to provide you everything that you need. Follow me, click here, click there, click here, click there. And you're only learning the how. You're not learning the why. So now when there's no Zoom, there's no instructor, there's no other classmates, you're in front of this computer and you're like, what the hell am I supposed to do? You have to set the right foundation. You have to learn the basics first. You have to learn the why, not just the how. I don't even have a logo. I can't come up with what I want it to look like. Okay. Me, I know I need a redesign. Hey, Kita, how art thou? It's a couple people. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Let's see. I don't have a name nor a logo because of what you just spoke on. All right. So there's a lot, like you can be great at those things, but sometimes you need a professional. And I know it can seem pretty daunting to have a professional. Professionals do not charge $25 for a professional logo. I'm just going to be straight up. You're going to end up with your logo with the black background and you can't do anything with it, or it's going to be a bunch of glitter. And then when you want to go and trace it and make custom stickers and stuff like that, you're going to be limited to a circle or a square or putting it in a triangle or a star or something. You're not going to be able to do anything with it because it's not set up properly. I know it might seem hard. You have to figure it out. Get quotes from folk, from different companies, set a plan. It gives you time to really have a clear vision of what it is that you want so that you can communicate it with them. And if you have to save up a little bit every month until you can pay that price for a professional to put your logo together, that is what you need to do. Your job and what you do is not making logos. That's not going to make you any money. Leave non-money making tasks to someone else. Please get out of the crafter frame of mind where you have to do everything yourself. It is exhausting. Take it from me. It is exhausting. And when you get to a point where you're starting to grow and you're still doing everything for yourself, you're going to find that you're going to get less and less and less done. The more you try to hold on to doing everything yourself, your productivity will drop drastically because you're not going to be able to keep up with demand. You're not going to be able to turn over. It's going to be a lot of things that you cannot do. But if you're just starting out, which is a lot like my audience, right? Is who I try to get. Like I'm trying to get you guys in the beginning to train you up a way that I wish someone would have helped me when I started. Because it's been very, very, like it was hard. Having the wrong foundation and trying to course correct, this has been so freaking hard. And then you get into a place where it's like, I'm not going to necessarily say fear, but you fool yourself into thinking that, okay, me doing it myself is going to make it better, right? No one knows how to do it like me. It's my vision. It's my thought. And I will tell you, I struggle with this. Me trying to course correct, me being trusting of others. It creates this thing where you don't trust anyone other than you, and it's going to stress you the hell out. I'm stressed a lot. I am very thankful. I almost broke down crying because there were certain people that reached out like wanting nothing from me, but it's like, I just want to help. I know I love what you do. If there's anything that I can help. And for the longest, I did not know how to process that, that olive branch of help. I'm like, okay, well, I'm already going to do this. I'm going to do that. Like, how do I go and do that? Like, so not only like right now, I'm even battling trying to figure out how to outsource, like what to delegate to someone else, because I've been doing it by myself for so long. But if I want to grow past where I have been for the past 2 years, I have to do more. I do quite a bit, but I have to do more of letting things go. And it's going to seem like for the things that I have to pay out, it's going to seem like, man, I don't have the money for this. You can't afford not to. When you're thinking, I can't afford to pay this person, do this, do that, I need to do it DIY, I need to do it the cheap way, you're hurting yourself. You can't afford to not invest in proper training for the design part. Because right now, it shouldn't be a lot of pressure. At least learn the design part. Learn how to properly make the items. And then also learn about the next level. Not to say that you need to do the next level, right? But when it comes time, you're not starting at square one. I want you to think about how hard it's been for you now starting at square one. So once you elevate, do you want to go back to square one? How many of you guys want, when you go and it's like, moving from level to level, there's levels to these things. When you get to the next level, do you want to start at square one or at least have somewhat of a head start? What's the average cost to have a professional logo made? Anything less than $200, I would not trust them, being straight up. Anything less than that, that person, and that's kind of for a text-based one. And that's you giving them a lot of information. Some logos, for even the simplest thing, can run companies anywhere from $500 to $2,000. But where you guys are and just kind of like starting out, I would say anything less than $200 for a text-based logo, I wouldn't trust them. Because they're not going to invest any time in actually thinking about your brand. They're going to go and probably go look for something. They're going to mimic. They're going to copy someone else's thing. And because you're not doing the research, you're not going to realize, damn it, my logo looks exactly like this other person. It's not going to be anything unique. For someone who's designing your logo, you have to think about the man hours to research, to really dive into what your logo is going, what is it supposed to represent. Then they should be coming up with a couple different concepts. That's time at the computer. Then it's finalizing. They're going to let you see it. Okay, which one you want? Okay, any tweaks. Then color has to be added to it. Then it has to be saved in all of the proper formatting. If it's text-based only, it's a little bit easier because it's more so just about choosing the right font that's going to match the aesthetics of your business and then applying your colors. But if you're getting any type of icon, if it's a full graphic, if I wanted this to represent my business, I foresee paying nothing less than $1,000 because of the time that it takes. You have to think about people's time. At 200, I'm going to just do this. So let's say, and I said, like I said, 200 is text-based, and that's on the very, very minimal end. 200, that means they will give you no more. On average, let's say for someone, they want to be able to make $25 an hour, right? Doing something like that, it's not a lot of overhead. It's just their computers, the program. So them trying to figure out their business overhead. So even if they said they wanted to be able to make $25 an hour, that means you're going to get 8 hours. It's going to be rushed because by the time you're trying to think of concepts, you're sitting down to design it. They should be sending you the drafts. Hey, what do you want from these things? Whatever. Is there anything you want changed? Okay. They may go in and they'll probably give you one or two, one change. Anything after that, they're going to probably charge you more. I'm not going to say probably, they should be charging you more. And then, they'll go back, they'll mix and match, whatever needs to be done. They're going to send you that copy of it. And then they're going to, once it's finalized, they add the colors. Then there's a lot of different setups. Are they giving it to you all landscape, a portrait setup, something that can be put inside of can be used as a favicon or used as a profile picture on social media sites and stuff like that. There's a lot of different setups, and then it should come in several file formats: PNGs, JPEGs, PDFs, even an Illustrator type file. Some people, only because I do a lot of logos for those who are in the craft space, I will do an SVG, but normally a AI file, an EPS file, or a PDF file will be able to take care of that part as far as it being vectorized. So all of these different file types for them to then turn it over to you and give you a release saying that it's yours. So I said on the very, very low end, for somebody that's just starting out, who is trying to build up their portfolio, but they're good at what they do, but they just don't have a lot of experience, a beginner should be charging at a minimum $200. Now, when you get up to the ones that really know what they're doing, you're looking at $1,000, $2,000, sometimes even $5,000, depending on how much work needs to go into it. But if you are making a plan for your business to like to have longevity in your business, that's nothing, because this is a logo that's going to represent you for the next 100 years. Everybody's going crazy about Stanley. Their logo has been like, that company has been around, that name, everything, 111 years. It's not something for, oh, just this year. Oh, I want to pay $1,000 for a logo. It's like, and you're thinking short term, but it's something for the long term. If you are in business for 10 years, for 20 years, for 30 years, if your business outlasts you, you take all of those years and you divide it by that $1,000, you end up paying $1 for the damn logo, like per year. So it's going to cost you money. I have a degree in marketing, and I need to invest. I just need to invest the time. I started a redesign 2 years ago. If you decide, being perfectly honest with you, if you started a redesign 2 years ago, it's time for you to let that go and let someone else do it. Because the other thing is, just because you have a degree in marketing does not mean that you will have the ability to create it. Marketing and branding are two different things. Two totally different things. You can be a beast at marketing and suck at branding. So if it's been 2 years, it is time for you to relinquish that to someone else. I'm selling my fused glass bowls in a glass store. I use what I learned from you on Silhouette Studio to make my stencils that I use for the designs. Oh my God. Thank you for that, Miss Cheryl. Exactly. And you can do, so what you do in Silhouette Studio and learning those things, it opens up so many doors. Creating stencils, stickers, chip bags, no matter what. Let's do this. Hopefully there's more than just t-shirt and like tumbler makers. What is it that you do? What is it that you make for your business? And I'm going to show you how Silhouette Studio can help you. What is it that you make for your business? All right, let's see. Look at you sounding like a motivational speaker today. Leave me alone. They didn't hear you in the back. I know sometimes they don't. They have selective hearing when it comes to that stuff. My rebrand logo and website was $3K. That's actually not a lot for it to be a logo and a website. $3K. You made out good with that one. You have to invest on your, oh, wait, backed it up. Listen to what him say. On your level. Know that how you start today, how your logo looks today, if you decide, I am not saying that you can't do it yourself, right? If you're like, look, I really cannot afford anyone, keep it real simple. Keep it text-based. What you do for your business, how you put it out there, your logo is not going to be what makes someone purchase something from you. How many of y'all purchased my paper just because the Honestly Speaking logo looked dope as hell? I'm being real. Where my paper at? Jesus. We're going to use this one. How many of you guys purchased just because this logo is dope as hell? Because I think it's amazing. And then it translated into HSINK and then the 365. Like, it's just amazing. So this is one, and then this is the secondary one. And then so I'm going to break all this down, right? So we have it's all about ink, right? So there's one element. So my O became the ink. I have my CMYK, or I have my CMY. Yeah. And then we have the ink in CMY. So there's that part, and it brings together so you can tell what this company is about. Something with ink, right? We have the colors to it and everything. So then within this branding, I took this. I wanted something that represents beautiful colors. So this can be an icon. We actually use this as an icon on quite a few things. And there's another company that had something like it. And then I had someone send it to me, and it was like, oh my God, I saw this. And all I kept thinking was, Honestly Speaking. I just had someone send me a text message. I don't know what it is that my husband's watching, but at the bottom of it, it says 365. So I immediately thought of you. That is the branding. So I take this, and not only do I have Honestly Speaking that stands out for itself, I have this setup. So HS, the drip, and then ink. same exact fonts and stuff is here. I took, it's weird looking at this backwards. I took this and then I made my peacock. So even with them inverted, it became the feathers of the peacock. This is branding. This means nothing because ain't nobody buying no paper just off of this. But I marketed it to let people know that it is the best sublimation paper your money can buy. Get rid of the other stuff. Get rid of the, it's been around for a long time, but they have not made any improvements. And there's always progressions. Cars don't look the same as they did. I just watched The Color Purple. I was trying to figure out where they got all these classic cars from. I wonder how much it was for them to rent these cars, because that type of stuff costs big money, because you have to really, really protect those types of vehicles because they're older. They cost a whole lot of money to get anything on that repaired. So you have these old cars. I'm looking at how they are set up. And then I go and get in my car and I'm like, everything is different. Everything is different. Any car brand, they change. It's still an Altima. I'm just going to use that one because I remember thinking this when my mom and my sister got theirs. And my mom has been in love with Nissan since I was a kid. My mother had which one is Altima? No, my mom used to have Sentras when I was younger. And then I think she ended up getting the Altima. But at one point, like my mom would go and like, I'm looking at how even just a Sentra or an Altima, every couple of years, they change the design. It is not the same. Like technically every year, something is a little bit different. Every 3 to 4 years, the body changes completely. Okay. Like, I mean, completely. And if business are doing that, it made me think about, one of the names that everyone knows, ASUB. I get it. They've been around for a really long time. Sublimation has evolved, yet their paper has not. People thought I was crazy to say 365. Guess what? Things have changed. Things are made better now, where you don't have to use this paper where once you press, it looks like you can press something again. You don't have to use this paper to where when you press it, it's blurring out. You don't get sharp images. I don't know who uses ASUB, but if you really look at it, once you press, if you look at the edges, it's blurred out. You think some of that hasn't translated onto your garment, onto your tumbler, but then you go and you use something like Honestly Speaking, it looks the same way it was printed. There's nothing that blurs out or anything like that. It's sharp. If you got sharp edges, it's going to go on your substrate, sharp edges. Things evolve. So why are we still up in arms about a company that in however many years it's been in existence, it's never made any improvements. It's never made any advances. That is what I always talk about with our paper. And the paper that we have now, I'm hoping that in a couple years, it's not the same, because I want to be able to work with our manufacturers, engineer a paper that's just going to get better and better and better and better every time we go in and like do like a certain production, like every couple of years, it's going to get better and better. I want to somehow get to a point to where it's going to be instant. You're going to press it and you're going to be able to sublimate in 5 seconds. Like if I can figure that part out, how to get you to sub in 5 seconds. Like, don't know if it's going to be possible, but like that might be one of my goals. But my logo alone does not sell this paper. My marketing for this paper is what sells the paper. He said, yes, I knew it was a deal. Plus, that company now recommends us to do a paper. Oh, see, you know how we was talking about the round table? That is a topic right there. One back scratching the other, like both still being compensated. But that's where a discount will come in, because now, like that's the topic that we have to talk about, like me, you, Shawnee, Eric, and the others. So tumblers, t-shirts, glassware, sublimation, blankets, pillowcases, embroidery, bags, t-shirts, and tumblers. Okay, let's see over here. Oh, damn, there's a lot of comments over here. My bad, y'all. Hold on. Working on creating my logo. Let's see. That's why I appreciate and love you for taking the time to teach us. Let's see. I want a head start and a plan for the next level because I completely forgot because y'all took too long to answer that. So I completely forgot. I'm going to come back to that point. Being honest, I want to go to the next level, but I'm going to start back to the first. Just want to make sure I have all the info I need. I have one wish. People would send one of these once in a while just to get you a coffee and appreciate it and appreciate the gems you drop. And they thank you from me. I know it would be nice if more people drop super chats, but it's okay. Thank you so much for that. I actually had my Wawa's coffee this morning. Well, this afternoon. Machine embroidery, anything I can sub on. When I tell you, I'm so glad I found you. Oh, Shar. Mine is text, just a pretty text. Okay. Let's see. Not me. Me because of the product and you. It could have no logo as long as it is good. I have so many problems with papers here in Brazil. Ooh, now that's one thing I do is I want to be able to get international, but I got to find someone I can trust. Like we want to be able to send our paper to other places to make it easier for people to get them. But it's trying to find distributors in those areas. You sell the paper because of your confidence in your products. Yeah. But like I said, this would not just sell the paper. But back to, because only one person really answered as far as being on the next level. You don't want to start back at zero. I have things that I want to be able to do, right? I have goals and I'm researching those. Does it mean that I'm going to apply that to what I do right now? No. But I'm understanding everything. If I wanted to do sublimation on a larger level, when I'm looking at when blankets are being made, if I'm looking at how uniforms, football uniforms, cheer uniforms are being made, I'm big, I'm in the optimist cheer like sector, right? If I wanted to get to a point to where, okay, I don't want to just I'm looking at them get new uniforms every single year. I know cheer. I know about good fits for cheerleader uniforms. I know about cuts and how they should look, about design. I can get to a point to where I have a company that does cheer uniforms later, dear. So if I want to do that, can I do that with an Epson printer? Hell, even if like whether it's a converted one or even like the one that Eric over the Blink Spot, that particular printer. Can I do it with just that? Can I do it with a small heat press? No. I have to now think about if that is a goal for mine. I eventually want to be able to make full on uniforms. What does that mean? I have to not just learn about cut and sew, but then I have to learn about or research, know how much it's going to cost because I'm going to have a business plan. I'm going to have to get some investors for these things, right? To get this many printers. Some people don't know that this right here is the tip of the iceberg. Y'all know y'all can't see it, but my Hotronics, as expensive as this is, so many people want to get to this, but the heat press that I want for those, which is nothing but like a big roller, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars for this. It just looks like a big roller, but it's heated. You put your paper down, it's going to go through and that fabric is going to sublimate and it's going to drop. So I'm now looking into like all of these different things. What type of sewing machines would I need? Do I plan to learn how to sew? Hell no. I'm going to hire the best sewist, the best seamstress that money can buy because I personally in the business want to be able to maybe I still probably want to go to certain teams because I like just that environment, or I might be one of the designers and stuff like that. So it'll be a business. So I'm already researching about all of these machines that I would need for that. And I may not even have my own. It might be to where when I first start, I'm going to outsource it. So a couple different ways this can be outsourced. I can create the designs. I can send my prints to someone, have them print them, and maybe just print them and they send us the fabric. We have a team of people that's going to cut them out and that's going to sew them. Or I can go to where it's my designs. I send it to a company. They pretty much do everything. That probably be the first way. And then we go, because I know the measurements, all that stuff, send it to a company. They do all parts of it. Does it cut into your profit margin? Yes. But I don't have to worry about all this equipment. I don't have to worry about hiring seamstress or sewists for it. I get the uniforms, boom, I deliver them. My next step might be, all right, we're going to now have in-house sewist. Have them do all this stuff. Maybe we'll cut it. Maybe I'll go, because some of them have laser cutters that it will print it and it will laser cut it. Then we get those. Then eventually the next level will be, we now have everything in-house. Or it might be, let me start with the big rollers to sublimate it. I'm going to have a company print them all out. We have the industrial heat press to put the print onto the fabric, and we can do that. And then maybe the last step will be to get a couple of the printers. It doesn't change what the vision is. I heard someone say that, these folk try to make you change your vision. But what God has for you is for you. This is true. But it doesn't mean that that vision cannot happen in sections, in pieces. Yes, your ultimate goal is to be the #1 distributor, maker for cheer and dance apparel, football uniforms. That can be the vision. But it doesn't mean that you have to go into it trying to figure out how many hundreds of thousands of dollars you need to get this started. The vision can have steps. And if you go and you're being too ambitious to where you cannot figure out anything, you got all these ideas, but you can't execute anything, it might be time to scale back on that vision. Go back to the basics. It's still about the vision. You're still going to get there, but what can I do that's manageable? What can I do that I can actually put action to? I love Donnie from Social Proof. And so her mentorship program is called Actionable CEO, right? So it's just that word of actionable. What actions can you take? Can you control right now? What can you control right now? Who's going to help you work on the things that you can control? Outsource some of this. Yes, you may not profit more, but you're also doing less work. You should not expect to make a profit off of work that you're not doing. In a company, you should not be doing everything yourself. Once you go and you employ people, you're going to be paying out money anyway. That outsourcing is not, I just realized I am so off topic right now, but maybe it's in my spirit. That outsourcing company is no different than you paying someone. No different. It's something that you still going to put on your taxes. It's still going to be a line item that, hey, I know I made this money, but I had to pay out these people. So this money right here, all of this did not come into my account. So Uncle Sam, please don't tax me on it. Tax them folk that I paid. It's no different. No one's trying to change your vision. We're just trying to help you streamline it. Make your life a little bit easier. Make it easier for you to get to the bag. But the problem is with crafters is the DIY mindset. And you want to figure out everything yourself. I used to try and teach all the business stuff. And once I had one too many crafters tell me, oh, this is way more than what I bargained for. I'm like, I have to go back to the drawing board until I can really dial in how I want to reach those who are truly ready for the business part of it. I don't really want to do this program again. Like, I don't want to do it right now. I'm going to stick with those who are just starting out, intermediate in that design area, a little bit of motivational for, branding and marketing, things of that nature. And once I really, really figure out how to get it where I don't have beginners trying to join this and figure out how to communicate that you have to at least have these things in order to qualify for this program, I'm not really doing the business stuff. But I'm always dropping business jewels, like little things, but I don't have a full program yet. So y'all better catch them gems when I'm dropping them for free. Because once I figure out this business program things I want to do, y'all won't get all this hour and 24 minutes of good stuff to help your business. Not at this level. So, incredible afternoon. Hey, sis, I outsource ours out of the country. I design them myself and let them do the heavy work. Exactly. Let's see. I was like, why do they not ask me to cut and sew? I do their fun wear. You want to cut and sew is what you're saying. You're like, why don't they ask you to do their cut and sew? Are you putting it out there? Is that something that you can actually do? Do you already have the companies? Like if you're not doing that in-house, have you already secured and know the companies, know what they're going to charge? Like what's their turnaround time? Are they out of the country? So what's that shipping time going to be? Have you prepped for any delays like in shipping? I thought that my rolls of paper would be here at the beginning of December. I'm just now finding out, like they sent the email, it's supposed to be here today. I'm waiting for the email for them to say, hey, your shipment is at the dock. It's going to take so many days for it to clear customs. So you never know. So if you're trying to do cut and sew and you're talking about for a full team, I would not recommend taking that on yourself if you don't have a facility that has everything that you need. OMG, I needed to hear that. That's where I'm stuck. Absolutely. That was definitely a learning lesson for me in 2023. Hey, Hans, I saw your new items for your, I will say this, ma'am. I'm going to, I always see the passion. I know that you are an authorized vendor. I love it when I see like the items. It's like it's still taking your skills and putting it towards the items for your sorority. I know that maybe that won't be able to like sustain you. I'm not sure how that goes, like how much they're actually ordering, how many members and stuff like that. Um, but that can work out to like that's one of your main things, and it can be on autopilot, and you always come up with some like really really dope things. So sometimes I feel like your mind is split wanting to do a lot of custom items versus doing the things just for your sorority. And there's a lot of custom items that you can do. Like you really have a strong like target audience, and as you're making the custom like the branded items that's for the organization, doing custom items still within that, because or if you're great with doing a lot of Greek things, although you are part of a Greek organization, you can still now research to where you are doing it for other Greek organizations. It will keep your designs a lot more focused, because trying to go from Greek and then switch to birthday and then this and that, like it can be quite a bit. I think you do really well in that Greek paraphernalia space. So I would recommend like exploring that more and maybe extending your offers. Like your additional streams of income would be looking to get to be an authorized seller for other Greek organizations. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I just have to figure out exactly how I want to do those prerequisites. Encouragement of just being there for me got me through it. Oh, because it's cut. So you're like, no, okay. I had to find that out. It's not just subbing, it is cut and sew. Yeah. I thought it was just subbing. Okay. I had to start outsourcing some of my embroidery orders, and that's you're telling us that, but your customers don't have to know that, because what you're going to do is make sure that the quality meets the standards of your company, of your business. So your audience, your customers will never know that it's outsourced, because you're going to do your due diligence to make sure that it's just the same, just as quality as if you were making. I'm like, wow, I got brain freeze. Like my brain got screwed up on that one. A live show is a shopping channel, and I got an order for 30 shirts. Ooh, and another 15 dance shirts. Oh, my live show is a shopping channel. Okay. I make most of my money at conferences. Plus selling my other beautiful items. OMG, yes, you are on point. Girl, I see this. I see you in this space, ma'am. All right. So let me wrap this because we're about an hour and 30 minutes. And I know it's probably good for some of y'all, but I actually did come on here to talk about Silhouette Studio, because that's what it says. Why your craft and creative business needs Silhouette Studio. That was the title of this. I don't know how I went off on a tangent. I really don't. Hopefully the tangent was still, it still resonated with you and it was helpful to your spirit and your soul. But you still need Silhouette Studio. That's the method that I use to teach the principles of designing. If you are in this creative space, that is one of the most important parts, is understanding design, understanding layout, positioning, placement, sizing, colors, how to add colors. Don't underestimate the value that has on your business. Is really truly learning it. Yes, you can try YouTube, but if you're using YouTube without any real direction or any guidance, you're going to be easily distracted, because so much is going to come at you. Once you get done watching one video, something else is going to come up. Slow down and try and learn from maybe a select few people, because sometimes one person's method may not work for you. I know there's a lot of people that think that they cannot really learn from me because they assume when I'm using the paper, right? They assume that I'm able to do 365, 30 seconds because of this. But this is why I go and I show with other machines. Like I'll go to my Share Profit. When we made the rags, I showed it with that one. I've shown it with the Easy Press, that 365, 30 seconds work, no matter which heating device you are using. Make sure that you're taking notes, but Silhouette Studio is just going to be absolutely amazing for your journey, your beginner and your intermediate journey into designing. And then you may need to upgrade to Photoshop or even Illustrator if there are certain things that you want to do, like creating patterns. Although I can create a pattern and create that first square in Silhouette Studio, it's so much easier in Illustrator because there's a plugin basically for that. When I'm drawing certain lines, if I want to do swirls in Silhouette Studio, it's a little bit harder. Whereas in Illustrator, if I want, now that I'm on like that level and I want to create stuff, it's a lot easier. You can go and add, widths to it to where it'll start tapered at the bottom, get wider, and then, fan out. So things like that are a lot easier to do in Illustrator once I've elevated, not saying I, but once others have elevated to that level. But Silhouette Studio, it's absolutely free, guys, for the software. So you don't have to worry about that. If you want to learn Photoshop, not only do you have to pay for a class, you got to pay for Photoshop every single month. But if you want to learn Silhouette Studio, you want to get introduced to designing and understanding the principles the right way, you can get Silhouette Studio and learn these principles. It's free. You can update to designer or to business, but that's still only a one-time charge. But in my classes, you learn how to do everything in the free version. Now, there are going to be times where I would, take advantage of the fact that I have business edition and I'm going to do it kind of the shortcut way. But you can still do most of those no matter what. So if you are in any type of creative space, you need Silhouette Studio. Even if you're not, let's say if it's not you, you have a family member, your child, your uncle, your brother, and somebody, sister, auntie, whoever, your grandmother, doesn't matter. And they want to start some sort of side hustle or business. Do you know how many things for your business that you can create and create the design in Silhouette Studio? Your business cards, your tags, your labels, set up the design to be able to have custom tape made. Let's see what else. Flyers, banners, posters, thank you cards, promotional cards. What else have I not named that you guys would like for your business? What are some things that I haven't, like just on the business side? We did this thing before called Compliment Your Small Business. That's also going to come back. And those are things I taught during that, like how to make thank you cards, business cards, text-based logos. You can set up your own order form, there and make a custom order form. I did that a couple of times. Like smaller ones, like for the schools, when it was like stuff for them to get to the kids, I actually set that up in Silhouette Studio. There's so many things and so many parts of your business or your side hustle that you can set the foundation in Silhouette Studio. Be able to do those really basic tasks yourself. So I just encourage anybody to download it. It doesn't hurt you if you have a Cricut machine, still download it. You have to remember that programs like Photoshop, Illustrator, they're not connected to any machine. Just because Silhouette is the program that's used for the cameos, and you might be a Cricut user and you're thinking about Design Space, or you might be a Caesar user and you're thinking about Leonardo Design Studio, it doesn't matter. Because Silhouette Studio allows you to save it, like truly save it. There's a button that says save as, and you can click the drop down and you can actually save it in these different file formats. You can't do that. Cricut Design Space does not have an option to save it in different file formats. I think Leonardo Pro, you might be able to, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not quite sure, but I know for sure Silhouette you can. So you can create in this and you can export it in a different file extension to where you can use that with any machine, any printer. So if you have not downloaded, this is not sponsored. So as far as utilizing Silhouette Studio, it is not sponsored by Silhouette America in any way, shape, or form. I found it as a avid Photoshop and CorelDRAW user. I found it and I was like, this is absolutely amazing. I have dedicated the past almost like 10 years sharing this, what I consider to be the most amazing software, especially for beginners who are getting into graphic designing. Go to silhouetteamerica.com, create a free account, download the software, look at it, click on the buttons. You have nothing to lose. Like I told my son, take 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes every other day. Give yourself a notebook. Look, just first couple of times, just take your mouse over the icon. That's what we did Friday. I took them through. This is what's on this side. This is what's on this side. This is what's at the top. Just looking at the buttons and identifying them. You can do that for free. You have to, after a 7-day or however long trial of Photoshop, you don't have access to that, but you can, for free, you can explore this software. And if you want to, you can just watch the free videos. It's on our YouTube channel. Whether you share it, leave a comment, if you leave a super chat, if you leave a gift, was it stars on Facebook? If you watch something and you like it, if you decide to bless our Cash App, our PayPal, whatever, it's there for you technically for free. I'll just get my little pennies from Google AdSense. But if you want to really hone in on your skills, you want it to be structured, you want someone to guide you through the process, to cut through some of that red tape, cut some of that learning curve down, that is where 365 Creative Academy comes in at. And Essentials of Silhouette Studio will be your starting point. And we do have other classes if you want to just explore, like our one for party favors and just get some ideas on how you can use Silhouette Studio to create party favors. If you want to enroll in the Vector Challenge and see how you can use Silhouette Studio to create different vector files, how you can use Silhouette Studio to create memorial files. If you want to go through the design challenges, guys, we have so many cost-effective, very affordable resources for learning how to design on our website. At least check out the design challenges. They're $5.63. If you can commit to, like, if you had planned on going to go get coffee, I just had me some Wendy's. If you were going to Wendy's, if you're about to go to McDonald's, that stuff is going to go in your mouth, in your belly, and out your butt either the same day or within a couple of days. Or you can take, I think I spent $5.35 because I got me a $5 biggie bag. I spent $5.35. I could have added a few more cents to that, got at least one design challenge. And the amount of information and what you learn even in one design challenge you can literally use that for so many different things. If you have not checked out our website, if you don't have the design challenge, if you are someone that wants to design for your craft hustle or your creative business, at least go to the site and put all 7 design challenges in your cart and check out, because you're going to learn so much about what this program can actually do. So while I am not it's not sponsored for Silhouette America, I do push our classes and the resources that we have. So go to the website, check it out. It is shop www.hsink365.com or www.hsink365.com. So you can go there and check out all of the classes. These 2 cameos still in the box, but you have a graph tech. So it might be harder for you to kind of go back to that. And they can just be backups. If something ever happens to your graph tech, like, again, methods are many, principles are few. Methods change, principles never do. So the method of cutting out, vinyl for your stoles or whatever, if your graph tech cannot work, like if it's not working, something funky has happened, guess what? You can always go and pull out the cameos because it's going to cut from the exact same file. So of course, don't get rid of them because they're always great as backups. Shirt tags, stickers, exactly. Thank you for all you do. You're very welcome. As soon as I finish my silhouette class, I'm taking all of them, Shar. I'm not telling you what to do. All I can tell you is what I heard a few students say. I know, like Terry, she was doing a 30-day challenge and she still got into, it's not a 30-day challenge. She was doing the Essential Silhouette Studio, Learn Silhouette Studio in 30 days. And she attended the challenges when they were live. And she said it helped connect the dots. So you may want to, because like I said, it's $5. At least try one of them. And you will find that it can connect the dots for you. Let's see. There have been a lot of business agreements making China the garment and fabric producer almost exclusively. You can try to beat their cut and sew prices, but never could find fabric that cheap. That nobody offers. Sewist jobs hardly in the U.S. except refugee medical, first aid kits, nylon pouches. And I mean, it is true. Like people always say, "Oh, it's cheap China stuff," but it's a lot of factors where it just makes it more cost efficient to be able to outsource it. And if China's not the only game in town, I know of several people who get their items made in other places. Yes, it was. I'm at work and happened to jump on Facebook and saw you were live. I have to do 24 cups and they like to take me out. So I need to really hone in on procedures to make things smoother. 24 like sublimation cups or epoxy? What type of cups are you making? Is it sublimation or epoxy or vinyl? Those are the things that I need to learn. I said so much, so I really don't know where that came in at. Email me. Guys, feel free to email us. You can email me at theprofessor@hsink365.com. Let me know those things that you are wanting to learn. I'm trying to find the email on here. It's so many darn tabs on here. Where in the heck is it? I'm trying to put it on the screen. No, not that one. Oh, there it is. theprofessor@hsink365.com. Email me the things that you guys want to learn. Let's see. Does Silhouette Studio have a new program or upgraded their software after business? No, there's nothing after business edition. Or should I say work on and master better? I want to learn how to do subscription boxes. Definitely something that we're actually, it's something that's coming. So like that whole structure and setup and just the planning process for that is something that we're in the process of now. I read that one. Bonjour, incredible greetings and welcome. Thank you so much for sharing this information with us. Use Cameo for smaller things. I didn't know the universal file feature is what makes Silhouette better. Thanks for explaining. Yeah, the fact that like with Business Edition, you can save it as an SVG, a PDF, a JPEG, or a true PNG of the transparent background. even with the free version, there is a site that you can convert a true vector file into an SVG file. So you just have to save it as a silhouette file, and then you can use that converter. It'll basically create the file extension as an SVG. For PDFs, it won't be a PDF that still remains in layers, but you can save a flattened PDF from Silhouette Studio when you go print to PDF, or basically print to PDF. You can save that in a flattened PDF format. The upcoming classes. Okay, sublimation. So I'm not sure if you watched my videos. If you have 24 to do, hopefully you are not trying to do 24 tumblers. You say you want to be able to do it better, more efficient, right? If you have a tumbler press, although it is great to have a tumbler press, especially for quick items, like, maybe onesies and twosies, but for 24, do you have an oven? Do you have a stove in your house? Do you have a range that you're making Sunday dinner on? You have an oven that you can put a cake in. Do you have one of those? And mugs. Do you have one of those? That's why you still have them. Yep. I would never get rid of mine. Never. I have one, but wasn't doing it right. Yes, I have an oven. You couldn't get the tumbler press to work or the oven. If you have an oven, you are going to sit while you are watching your favorite TV show. You're going to create all of these designs. You're going to print them all out. You're going to trim them all down. And you're going to get you a little TV tray and put it in front of you while you are watching your favorite show. And you're going to take a tumbler, you're going to take your print, you're going to take a tumbler, you're going to wrap it, exactly how I show it in my videos, and you're going to put that to the side. You're going to grab the next one, and you're going to do that. And you're going to grab the next one, and you're going to do that. When you get to about 10, because I'm not going to push you too much to try and do the full 15. When you get to about 10, you're going, actually, because it's only going to take 4 minutes. So you might want to just do them all. I mean, if you want to, you can, but by the time you sit down to do the next ones, you're probably going to get through maybe 1, maybe 2. It's going to be time to take them out. So you want to get to maybe 10 or 15. You're going to take those 10 or 15 and you're going to put them in your oven. You're going to set that timer for 4 minutes. You're going to put it at 365. You're going to set that timer for 4 minutes. And all 10 or 15 are going to be done completely, no ghosting, in 4 minutes. Maybe even push it to 5 because you have something in there. You really ain't going to need it. But if you wanted to, you can stretch it to 5 minutes. And in that 4 to 5 minutes, every last one of those tumblers will be done. If you went and you took the time to do all 24, you're going to take those out. The oven is still hot. It's going to come down a little bit. You're going to put in the next 10 to 15, and you're going to close and you put it for 4 minutes. You had 24 to do. If we do 10 or you do 15, you're not doing 30. You're doing two 4 to 5 minute rotations. Or you can sit there with a tumbler press and give you, now I'm not judging. I don't know what your body set up like, but unless you need an arm workout, unless you're trying to get some guns, for you to sit up here and do 24 where you go press, rotate, press, ends, press, rotate, press, flip, press, rotate, press. And every time you do that, you got to do this. 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 So you can sit there. And it's normally 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds. Then the time to pull it down to the end, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. Then flip it, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. You can do all that for 24. Or you can go and enjoy your shows, wrap them all, throw all them bad boys in the oven, 2 cycles of 4 to 5 minutes, take them bad boys out. The way that I do mine, you finna rip it one time. Them folk that got to use the little, the weeding tool, and they got to clip all that darn tape off, taking up more time. The way that I show you to do it, you're going to kind of create a little tab at the top. You're going to yank that down. You're going to open it up and it's going to be beautiful. And you're going to put it to the side and you're going to do the next one. Rip. And you're going to be able to watch the next shows. Rip. Package them bad boys up. So you want to be able to do it better? You're going to use Honestly Speaking sublimation paper. Pop them things in the oven and keep it moving, shawty. Okay? Bam. Done. I need tape that does not leave stains. You must not be ordering from Honestly Speaking. Our tape is non-staining, non-marking. Never has been. Never has been. So you can get your tape from our website. We sell heat tape, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 and 6 inches. None of them stain. This is how it's wrapped all the time. Every last one of my tumblers is wrapped like this. It's never a stain left. Exactly. 2 runs compared to 24. She says, that was me with the tweezers. It says sold out. What says sold out? Let me go. Let me see, because we're definitely not sold out. I can go and show you the heat tape. Let me go and see what's going on in here, because if that's the case, I have to even take a look at that. Bundle, nope, not sold out. 1/2 inch, not sold out. Well, the bundle of everything, I'm not showing as it being sold out. The 1/2 inch, 1 inch bundle, not sold out. The 1/2 inch, you can add that to cart. 1 inch, you can add it to cart. 2 inch, you can add it to cart. 3 inch, you can add it to cart. 4 inch, you can add it to cart. 6. No, nothing is showing sold out on our website. I am on the tape right now. And all of them, see, because it still says add to cart. All of them. Oh, wait, let me see. Oh, pickup currently not available. Why is it under HSINK Digital? But all of these, because it has add to cart, it's not sold out. So every size of heat tape can be ordered right now. She says they sure do not stain. That's the only heat tape I use. Yeah, it's on the website. It's non-staining, non-marking. Yes, your oven. There's no need to laugh. Your oven. You can sublimate in your oven. Stop listening to folk who don't know what the hell they're talking about. All they're doing is they're regurgitating false information. Sublimation is not toxic. It is actually very eco-friendly. There is nothing toxic just because it releases, people say it releases gases. It is not a hazardous gas in any way, shape, or form. Gas simply means vapor. That is it. It is not like it's releasing carbon monoxide or anything that's like on the periodic table. You can put them in your oven. Now, I cannot speak for every type of paper. Now, Brenda, the grandma too, if you would like to go to our TikTok shop, we have the paper there. We also have the heat tape there. You can go on there, and with the paper that we sell, you can put it in an oven, 365 degrees for 3 to 4 minutes, depending on the colors. 365, 3 to 4 minutes. Yes, the chip resetters are sold out, but the heat tape is not. If you have 24 to do, contact me. We didn't necessarily go over. I have tons of videos that I've kind of done the method on, but if you would like to book a one-on-one session to go over that particular part to make sure that you can do them in 2 sections, email me or give us a call. The number's on the website so that we can set up that session, and so that you can get them all done without, with very minimum, if any, mistakes and hiccups. All right. Well, I am going to get out of here. Monday is normally my shorter day. I just have to send my now assistant some things so that we are ready for Wednesday and Thursday of this week. If you don't know, you haven't heard, you've been under a rock. We are back doing live sessions for Essentials to Silhouette Studio. No matter when you signed up. If you signed up for it and you've been doing okay with, navigating it yourself, if you have not even gone into your dashboard, you're procrastinating, you're making all the excuses. Oh, but I can't, you're psyching yourself out saying you can't figure it out. You want an instructor, you want to be able to ask questions. Oh, I don't understand. We are now doing live sessions. We are doing them every other quarter. So the first quarter, and then the second quarter, we're doing some other things. The third quarter, we will have these sessions again. And as long as you have purchased Essentials of Silhouette Studio, you are able to attend. Whether you purchase in March of 2022, April of 2022, if you purchase January of 2024, if you purchase anytime in 2023, just go to your dashboard. The link is there for you to attend. It is a first come, first serve basis when it comes to being inside the Zoom room, but there is an overflow. So you'll see the link there once the live stream starts. That link will be in that playlist, which means you can go to that and you can access the live stream, like basically from the overflow. But everyone has access to attend the sessions. Every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time why do I still have this up? Is the study hall session. So any questions that you will have, I am not quote unquote teaching. Now, based off of a question, I will teach. And don't worry, you guys will have access to the playbacks of every study hall session as well. You don't have to be in attendance at the study hall. If you have a question, but you cannot attend the study hall session, you're going to email homework at HS, either homework or info, either one, at 365creativeacademy.com. There's also like a community that's attached to the class. You can post your question there, and then I can then answer it on your behalf inside the study hall session. At least you'll end up with your answer. Be as descriptive as possible with your question. And those are like only questions will be answered in the study hall session. If there are no questions, there is no content. And then every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the actual teaching live session. This week is text. So we're going to start in text. And then there's going to be a calendar so you'll know exactly what we're teaching each session. Okay. So that's for anyone, whether you signed up today or you signed up, 2 years ago, you have access to these sessions. Okay. You're very welcome. All right, y'all, I am out of here so I can finish this stuff up and I can leave the office because Monday is normally my half days. All right. Oh, no, I got to design a shirt for someone that's going on a trip. Okay, so I got to do my calendar and I got to design this shirt. All right. Until next time, guys, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace. See you guys on Friday. I'll be live again tomorrow, but for those who are in it, I will see you guys on Thursday.